Well, good morning. I am going to complete a little session that I started a couple of days ago that where we covered going from Drupal 7 to Drupal 7, a small migration, a lateral migration. And we're gonna use a mix of code and the interface, the Drupal interface for the migrate module. So the reference for the migration, I'm gonna start showing it right now. And the reference for the previous work or presentation is here. Let me see. Yeah. So here is the thing. It's Drupal 77, and here is a YouTube link. In case you want to catch up, you can also Google Drupal D7 to D7 migration. It should show it. Anyway, in here, we're going to complete that process. Where we left off is we created a module, and in that module, we call it D7 migration. It was in a folder, and we specify the group name, which is here, ILTR Drupal 7 migration, and we specify other little things like whether there's a connector, checks, and balances limits. All right, so right now, what we are going to do is in this group, we're going to see we have one class. It's called the ILTR Nitrogen Pilot Survey. And so I already take care of the connector, the database. So right now, this Drupal instance where I install the module that we created is already seeing the source database and it's seeing that it has 22 nodes, because in this case is the items to be migrated are nodes from Drupal 7 in a content type called Nitrogen Pilot Survey. Now, to see the details, this is incomplete in the sense that I just put the skeleton migration. So if you were to go to GitHub, right, and examine the class as it is right now, which is this one. So this class is just basically a skeleton. It doesn't have much. Sorry, that is the feature. The class is here. The class is this file, and it does have a basically the arguments, what is the source content type. Here it is. The machine name is Nitrogen Pilot Survey. The destination type is also Nitrogen Pilot Survey. I also featureize that, so you can create that automatically, that content type. Here, I remove some of the mappings that the parent class provides. So the parent class is, of course, the D2D Drupal Node 7 migration, and it already maps a few of the metadata automatically. I'm kind of modifying that. I'm saying instead of looking for the UID and automatically mapping the UID, the owner of that particular node, let's say that admin or whatever is the UID equal to man will be after that. I also remove a few mappings, but basically there is a skeleton. There is not much done, and I leave this blank on purpose. Okay, so I enable the module, and I got the class recognized by the system, and it's telling me, it's giving me a few warning messages because it's just a skeleton. But in the overview, you can tell that the group is the correct one, and there's a description of what it does, and there is, of course, the class name. Now here it is. The destination are just the basic fields that are in there, and there are some mappings that came automatically by virtue of the parent class, and of course there is the source, and the source is basically the Drupal 7 node class. The parent class is already getting a bunch of fields out of the parent content type. And it's also seen a whole lot of fields that have not been mapped. That's why there is a red background. So these are custom fields that were added to the content type. And this is the things that we are going to have to do in code. I think you can use the UI to do these mappings, but I'm going to show you how to do it in code. And basically, it's grabbing the fields from the source and it's telling me the description of the field on the right and on the left, the machine name. So all these are things that we're going to have to take care of. Now, here is the thing. Most of these fields have been just copied as is, so it's going to be very, very easy to map. I think there's a function called simple map that you can use to, you know, when both the source and destination machine names are the same. And let's just try to do that. But in order to do that, you have to connect to, you know, basically grab a shell and connect to whatever your class resides and edit that class. That class which was named ITR nitrogen pilot server migration class. And then add this, we are going to add all these source fields and make simple mappings to destination fields. So I'm going to copy and paste all of them. That way I'm going to save some time. I'm going to copy and then I'm going to pull the window where I have this class that you see there. So I'm using Ubuntu, so I have this very basic editor. And it is the class. And I said that what this function does, like you saw a little bit briefly in GitHub, is maps the source type and the destination type, but it didn't have any mappings, you see. So I'm going to put the mappings right in here. So for that, I'm going to paste all my fields, and you just basically have to say this, right, is add field mapping. And the format of this function for this class is destination comma. So the destination file name and then comma the source name, and just using the machine names, of course. So you can do this just because we know that they are the same. You can totally do this, it's fine. Or you can use the simple mapping function that also displays hands. So that would be one mapping down, and now we have a whole lot of other mappings to go, right? The field paper UI, the upload PDF. So it's not that complicated. You could just, for example, to save time, you could do this, but it's not really. You can use anything. I'll show you the page where you can use a simple mapping on Drupal.org. That way you can try that other alternative way to map these identical fields. And with that, and then you would just run this migration, and that way you transfer all the 22 nodes that are in the source to the destination instance where we are coding right now. Okay, so out, and let me comment the next few to get the idea of how it goes. I'm going to just comment out most of the things in there. So this one is interesting. It's a subfield of the custom upload PDF file, which is probably a file field type. And just when you want to map subfields, you can use the column syntax in order to refer to them, and it works perfectly fine. Only for many type of complex fields. I'm going to comment out on this, guys. So, and that way, I'm boring today. Now these are commented out. And what I can do is save this and then go back to my refresh this screen. I mean, sometimes I have to. I would have to refresh the. I've done something wrong. I would have to refresh the class registry in order to see the changes. But because I'm getting a white screen, that means probably that I made an error, a syntax error. So I'm gonna quickly look into it and see what could have been wrong here. It looks fine. Okay. Trying to. Oh, here you see, I am missing a small. Noise. Let's complain about the system. Why we got a white screen of this. And, I refresh it now for reals. And you can see that if I go to the source, the paper DOI and upload PDF and all those should show as already mapped. So they shouldn't show, you see, all these ones over here. They show that they are already being mapped and they are no longer in the red background. Of course, you might have noticed that I might have an issue in the destinations. I don't see them in these destinations, but that's a whole different game. So with that, I think I'm going to stop this. You get the idea on how to do it. Well, let me just finally show you. I promise I would show you the simple mapping function in Drupal. So migrate D2D, really simple mapping, but I'm not. Here it is. So this is simple. This is probably by who wrote this blog. And, all right. So what I want to do is look for a function to show you what is that you can call. Here is a class query. These are these are field mappings right here. And I'm looking for a function that is called like simple mapping or something like that. Again, mapping, then you have to use those, whole lot. Hey, here it is. That's simple mapping. So you see. So in this case, this is the syntax that you would use. Basically, it's a comma-separated array of machine names that are the same thing in both in the destination and the source. That's all for today. If you have any questions, email me, call me, get back to you. Take care. Let's see if I can finish the hang. Yeah.